What is up, you guys? I'm Charmx, and today I'm going to be reacting to Game Theory, How Deadly is Super Mario's Bob-omb? And this is by the Game Theorist. Now, I'm not really sure what to expect, but hopefully it's going to be quite interesting. The original link's in the description. Make sure you go subscribe to the Game Theorist if you haven't already. Without any further ado, let's begin.
No! No! Oh God, no!
You know, it's always amazed me that the channel blew up the way it did with dud jokes like that one. I mean, look at it. Is that even acting? Ugh. And it's so drawn out as an intro, too. Man, it's a good thing we don't do the same jokes twice, because that would just be lazy. No. No.
Alright, well done. Well done with that. That's funny.
No! Oh God! No! No! I'm so scared right now! Hold up. If memory serves, this shouldn't do anything.
Yeah, I guess in Mario, but that doesn't in Mario, don't they like wipe you out if you get hit by them?
Internet, welcome to Game Theory, where it's not only okay to make fun of yourself in front of an audience of millions, it's encouraged. Since one of the channels—
Well, that's something we have in common. Well, I don't like making fun of myself, just talking in general seems to do it for me.
A stroke a day takes brain function away.
Be quiet.
Biggest games of last year was Doki Doki Literature Club. I wanted to take a minute, step back, and analyze a topic from the first ever Doki Doki game. Oh? You didn't know it had a prequel? Well, it certainly does. Introducing Doki Doki Panic, released back in 1987 and created by Nintendo's own mastermind, Shigeru Miyamoto. Doki Doki Panic was a big departure for the series. Instead of being a visual novel, the game was actually a— What?
Wait, so Doki Doki is owned by Nintendo? I didn't know that.
Voice of the internet? I'm trying to record an episode here.
Yeah, but Doki Doki Panic was a Mario game. Or at least they got me skinned into a Mario game.
So they're not related.
Outside of sharing the words Doki Doki in the title, no.
Wait, but without at-risk teenagers in need of my saving embrace and secret ARGs hidden under the surface, what am I gonna talk about?
How about how deadly the bombs are? It was an awesome suggestion by the Mortiest Rick on Reddit.
Well, Mortiest Rick, today you're also the loyalist theorist. Even though Doki Doki Super Mario Bros. 2 was just a reskin of a different game, it actually introduced a lot of new stuff to the series that ended up sticking around. Sniffits, Shy Guys, and of course, Bob-ombs. Fun fact, by the way, this is the—
Bob-ombs? I never really knew how to say the name properly. I always thought it was Bob-omb. But, okay, I guess if you say it fast enough it is. Okay, whatever.
The first and last time Bob-ombs would actually have arms. It's a good idea, too. Hate to be around to clean up that mess. They look fleshy. Ugh. Anyway, from that game forward, these bangin' baddies would pop up in almost all of Mario's adventures, spanning a huge range of different sizes, which obviously leads to the question, how deadly are they? Mario seems to be perfectly fine.
Well, like with most things in Mario, you know, because if you get hit, it like takes one of your, I wouldn't say life, but it, like if you have multiple power-ups or level-ups, if that makes sense. I don't know how to friggin' explain it. My brain's not working today.
So it's a normal day then.
Standing a few feet away when they explode, but is that really true? I mean, in the Bullet Bill episode, we found that those things were absolutely useless as weapons. So will the Bob-omb fare much better? Get ready, because this one promises to have an explosive finale. Badoom-ching.
I like a good pun.
In order to understand what the heck is going on with a Bob-omb, we first need to know what its real-life counterpart would be. Now, based off of physical appearance, they appear to be modeled after the cast iron spheres that were the go-to ammunition model for nearly 600 years, between the 14th and the latter half of the 19th century. If you've ever stopped to wonder why this is the iconic image of a bomb in popular media, when bombs over the last 100 years have looked nothing like that, this is a large reason why. The classic round design lasted for over half a millennium. Couple that with the rise of—
It's a long time. But they themselves, were they like explosive? Because it looks like it's just like a metal ball.
Editorial cartoons during this period. The iconic design we see so often was made famous back in the mid-19th century in a political cartoon by Harper's Weekly, one of the most, if not the most widely read publication during the Civil War. Since these were the earliest depictions of what bombs looked like in the public, the visual shorthand just kinda stuck and has continued to stick in the public consciousness ever since. Anyway, these spheres were packed with gunpowder.
Oh, so they were. Okay. I guess it makes sense then. It really does. It makes complete sense.
And when the fuse was lit, a fuse that was rarely string, it's worth mentioning, which is surprisingly one of the only things that's factually inaccurate about the bomb, it would cause the gunpowder to ignite, creating an immediate oxidation reaction that produced a huge amount of gas, instantaneously building up pressure inside the sphere until the iron walls couldn't hold it anymore, and then finally, kaboom! Kaboom indeed. Small iron spheres acted as hand grenades, and larger versions were used as artillery shells. Now, for our calculations, we need to identify which of those two categories the bombs fall into, since that'll affect how much gunpowder they're going to be packed with. Luckily, Super Mario Bros. 3 gives us all the information we need to find the answer. Notice here that the bombs are being shot out of what appears to be a cannon, but that's not quite accurate. Cannons have long barrels and fire round shot, solid balls of iron, not gunpowder-packed bombs. Mortars, on the other hand, are like cannons, but have—
Yeah, they do look like that in the game. They look like that in the game. That has to be what they are.
much shorter barrels and are set at higher angles. The reason for this is that they launch explosive shells. If a cannon were set up at a high angle, the iron ball would just shoot up and then fall to the ground, burying itself. It would be pretty useless. That's why cannons are always fired at a flat trajectory, so the iron ball can plow through as much as it can before coming to a stop. Mortars, on the other hand, are all about the explosion. And with that information, look again at the Super Mario Bros. 3 footage. Short barrel, high angle, explosive ammunition. But bombs are definitely mortar rounds. But if you're still not convinced, well then, just take a look at these. From back in 1841, 10-inch...
Wait, this picture's from 1841? They had cameras back then? I knew cameras were invented near the end of the, what the frig's it called? It's not the 18th, 19th century, that's what it would have to be. So is that like one of the first pictures ever taken?
siege mortars, nearly identical to the ones that are used in the game. So now that we've found our real-life parallel, we can start doing some calculations. Those round black iron shells measure in at 10 inches, 25.4 centimeters in diameter, and each one was filled with a whopping 5 pounds or 2.3 kgs of black powder, resulting in the whole thing weighing in at an absolutely massive 87.5 pounds. That's
wow.
Just under 40 kilograms.
Enough with the numbers already. Let's get to the destruction.
Jeez, Internet, I know you have a taste for danger. I was just getting to it.
Is this little computer, like, I've never seen this computer thing, the voice of the internet before. Is this new to the Game Theorist channel? Like, this has to be really new. Because it's kind of acting like a sidekick to Matt Pat, which is, it's exactly what Cap is to me. Aren't you? That's right. Know your position.
Your horses. Micro-bombs are the least talked about version of bombs in the Mario-verse, making their one and only appearance in the classic Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars. Using our tried and true ruler, Mario himself, standing at 61 inches or 155 centimeters, we can run through a quick analysis to find...
What's that in feet? Because, I believe in another video from the Game Theorist, he said that Mario was like 5'1" or something. Like, Mario is not tall. All right, so I just went over to Google and looked it up, like the conversion to feet, and it's 5.08 feet. He is so short. And that explains, you know, why he can go down in a sewer, right?
Find that they're just below half of Mario's height, roughly 35%, in fact. This puts a micro-bomb at about 21.35 inches or 54.25 centimeters in diameter, a little over twice the standard 10-inch shells that were being used during the iron mortar's heyday.
That's freaking huge. Those things are freaking dangerous.
To make sure I was getting as accurate numbers as possible, I used this diagram to measure the internal and external diameters of the bomb, since, you know, the iron has to have an actual width to it. That allowed me to calculate the internal volume of bombs of this type and then scale it up with the varying sizes of the bombs. It also allowed me to calculate the ratio of gunpowder to the volume of the bomb to ensure that I was staying true to the construction of this type of explosive. So after doing all of that scaling to match the size of the micro-bomb, we see that the shell would be filled with 20.5 pounds of explosive powder, 9.32 kilograms. Now, in reality, the actual explosive force of a bomb would vary based on a ton of variables. I went through a ton of formulas.
So many formulas.
Looking at the tensile strength of iron, which is how much tension it can withstand without breaking.
I love like the crazy dramatic music with this, like doing the math. Da, 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 2 + 4 is 6. Could you imagine if I got that wrong? Like I was going through it in my head, like what is 2 + 4? What is 2 + 4?
Breaking burst pressure of the bomb, heat capacity ratios for the gases within the bomb, the Broad's method of determining the energy of an explosion, and it was boring. It was pretty dull.
You think that studying the science of bombs would be a little bit more explosive?
Nope, just a whole lot of math, and it was pretty dull when it was written out in script form. So instead, it's just a lot simpler to say this. On average, black powder contains about 3 megajoules of energy per kilogram of powder, which isn't actually all that much when you look at it. That's about the same amount of energy present in a candy bar. Wood contains over 6 times that much energy per kilogram than gunpowder. The difference is, though, that gunpowder releases all that energy pretty much instantaneously, whereas burning a lump of wood takes a whole heck of a lot longer. But with those numbers, we can translate that to the microbe bomb producing 28 megajoules of energy or 6.7 kilograms of TNT.
Matt, we don't know what that means.
Yo, another video you should make is how dangerous is the TNT in Minecraft. There's an idea for you, Matt.
Jeez, I'm getting to it. Man, kids these days always just want the results of their math equations. Using the United Nations Explosions Consequence Analysis tool, yeah, that's a real thing, we can input our stats and learn that the microbe bombs have a fatal zone of 4.35 meters, or a little over 14 feet. Notice how close Mario and the gang are standing to that mini bomb? They dead, son! They dead! No question, they are within the 14-foot radius.
So is the bad guy in this situation. Well, I'm not really sure who that bad guy is. I've never played this Mario game.
Vibrations from that micro explosion would be felt over 80 meters away. That is over 263 feet away. That's the length of 9 school buses. And remember, this is still the smallest bomb to appear in the Mario franchise.
Oh, crap.
Oh, crap, indeed.
The smallest. So the biggest one must be, like, insane, right?
Internet. So if the tiniest bomb in the lineage is that deadly, how do the rest compare? Using the same methodology as before, we find that the original bomb from Super Mario Bros. 2 measures in at about 56% of Mario's height, which might not seem like that big of a difference, but think about those numbers. That is a bomb that is nearly 3 feet tall. A meter-tall iron ball loaded with explosive powder. 38 kilograms or 84 pounds of explosive powder, in fact. That translates to 113 megajoules of energy, 27 kilos of TNT. But what does that mean to Mario in this little bit of gameplay that we see on screen? Well, I'll tell ya, he dead, son.
I guess if like one of those go off anywhere, he's out.
He's within 23 feet or 7 meters of that explosion, he dead. Flat out dead. There ain't no coming back from that one. If he's not over 90 feet away from that explosion, or the distance from home plate to first base on a baseball field, his eardrums would burst. And we're not even close to done, because the boss Punchinello from Super Mario RPG has one last trick up his sleeve. The standalone biggest bomb in the entire franchise, his last-ditch effort to finish off Mario, the Mega Bomb.
Dun dun dun.
Like the little roll you got there going on. It's a sexy, dramatic reveal. This
thing is like, what, 10 times larger than the other one?
massive bomb is twice the height of Mario and comes loaded with, get this, an insane 1,764 kilograms of black powder. For those of you using the stupid Imperial system, that is 4,000 pounds of explosive powder in there. It's a number that translates to 5,291 megajoules of energy just waiting to be released. 1,265 total kilos of TNT. Running it through that UN website, which at this point must be like,
oh, there's MapPad again. You must be doing another Mario video.
We get the disgustingly large.
First off, why does this website exist? Like, that just doesn't seem like a good idea.
Large fatality radius of 25 meters, 82 feet. Remember what I said with the last bomb where running between home and first base, you would have your eardrums ruptured? Well, now if you're in that range, you're dead, son. Mario in that mine, you're dead. Like 10 times over at this point. Houses within
Well, so is the bad guy, right? Like, if it goes off and he's there, he's gone too.
100 feet would be demolished because of that blast. That star piece you guys were hunting for is long gone, shattered into irreparable star bits. You're not getting away with just some explosive powder on your face after that one, Mario. The entirety of that mountain would be crumbling down on top of you. Let's put this in visual terms. Even if Mario had a luxury sedan between him and Ground Zero, he would still be killed from the Mega Bomb's explosion. That explosion is so big that it would be felt from over 10 football fields away. And all because Punchinello, that random boss, yeah, he just wanted to be famous. No joke, that is literally the only reason he gives for attacking you in the game. And looking back, based on the fact that he never again appears in a Mario game, shoot, this is like probably the most famous he'll get. Hate to break it to you, buddy. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Your heart better be doki dokiing after encountering those bombs. Little did Nintendo expect that they would be introducing the single deadliest weapon in the Mario franchise by reskinning a simple game.
Why stop there?
Voice of the internet, you're back. What's up?
What about King Babam? You're ignoring the single largest explosive in the Mario
Oh,
franchise.
yeah.
You would think that, but he's not the largest. Trust me, I measure.
Oh, yes, he is. He might not be the biggest in the main series, but if you're looking for a Babam even bigger than the Mega Bomb, you have to cover Mario Party 9 in the minigame Bombard King Babam.
And technically, if you're looking for the biggest, you have to look for the biggest out of all of the games from Mario.
So you're telling me that I need to leave the canon lore so I can dive deeper into the canon lore?
Yup, leave the canon so that way you can dive deeper. Wait a minute. Pun Pat!
All right, just for you, Internet. Bombard King Babam features a supersized version of the king, long may he reign, coming in at a towering 8 meters in diameter. That is a 26-foot tall bomb. He is the literal Tsar-Bomba of the Mario universe, and that is no exaggeration. Tsar-Bomba was the nickname for the Soviet hydrogen bomb that was the most powerful nuclear weapon ever created and detonated back in 1961. Its measurements, 8 meters long and only 2 meters wide. Actually smaller than King Babam in this
So basically, what you're saying is King Babam is someone you don't want to mess with, right?
game. That said, the fission of an atom is actually going to create a much bigger boom. So even though the king wins out in size, the Tsar wins out in explosiveness. Still, King Babam's detonation in Mario Party 9 is going to be no joke, and it will absolutely rock everyone across the board. With a size like this, he would contain 27,562 kilograms of powder. That is 61,000 pounds of gunpowder.
61,000 pounds of powder. That is insane. That is insane.
82,686.92 megajoules of energy, 19,762 kilos of TNT, and what that means is that any building within the span of a soccer field would be destroyed. Anyone who's less than 200 feet away or over double the distance to first base would be demolished. If you were on the tippy top of the Statue of Liberty and this bomb went off at the base, your lungs would rupture and your eardrums would burst. In order to escape feeling any effects of the blast, Mario and the gang would have to run 14,758 feet away. That is 2/3 as long as the Las Vegas Strip and 3/4 of the height of Mount Kilimanjaro. It's about the length of the Daytona Speedway. Forget being the life of the party, being the death of it seems to work just fine for King Babam. So what does this all mean for Mario? Well, unlike the bullet bills, which were far less dangerous than the damage that they cause in the games, the bombs are freaking scary. The explosions we find in game are nothing compared to the amount of damage that they would really cause. To make matters worse, I haven't even mentioned the fact that every single one of these bombs would produce a lot of shrapnel, tiny fragments of debris that are fired off as a result of the explosion. I ran the numbers through the Gurney equation to measure the velocity of some of these fragments, and let me tell you, they would be traveling at well over twice the speed of the world's fastest bullet, except here, they're shotgunning out in all different directions. Long story short, the bombs are
Man, Mario's a lot scarier than I thought it was.
far and away the deadliest item in Bowser's arsenal. Better work a bit harder on that throwing arm if you want to survive, Mario. But hey, that's just a theory.
That was nuts. I was freaking nuts. I was not aware of that. I think everyone was not aware of how dangerous the Mario world could be. But anyway, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, possibly share with a friend if you do, and subscribe to the family. Also, make sure to go subscribe to the Game Theorist. And with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Boop!